Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Glenn, and I got a few questions from a couple of my friends talking about how I was able to live cheaper in a house than I was renting out an apartment. And this is kind of based off a month by month basis. Of course, you have the down payment, which is a higher upfront cost. But if you are an investor or someone trying to play the long term game, I would suggest getting onto the train of like either buying a house or buying a house that you can house hack in. You hear people like Grant Stephan and other YouTubers talking about how this is possible. So I went ahead and I decided to go ahead and do it. And this makes sense for the numbers for me. You should run numbers for yourself to make sure it makes the same like sense, because it might not be the case at all depending on your housing market, your current financial situation, how much space you need, what part of town you need to live in, your income, all of that. So if you look here, right here, I was staying in an apartment for about $975 a month. Well, with my new house, I am paying $1,200 in rent or mortgage. So we got the other bills that come along with the house. For me, since I am house hacking, my power bill, water bill, gas bill are all higher. I do keep the same internet, but since I only have 3.5% down for my down payment, I do pay a PMI, and that is this kind of insurance, private mortgage insurance. Basically saying we're taking a risk on you if you're not having 20% equity, so you pay a little bit extra each month. But if you run all of those numbers down, you see at the end of the day, I'm paying out almost $1,200 for the apartment, $1,185, and I'm paying $1,650 for the house. Well, it makes sense. I mean, a house is typically more expensive than an apartment. But if you keep looking down, you have the monthly income. Well, I make, well, my rent is set as a certain rate, but I counted my taxation and cost of repairs towards this. So to say every month I'm bringing home about 530 or 527 for my tenant. So if we subtract that together, you see at the end of every month, I'm actually paying less to own this house. And that is just a monthly cash flow standpoint. So if we go down even farther, like I am also, so every month I'm paying on my mortgage. The first month of this was $373. So this is a monthly payoff of $373. And with amortization, there's a whole paperwork. They give you like a stack of paperwork like this, and they say, okay, well, each month you pay this, and this towards your principal and interest. Well, at very minimum, I am getting $373 put towards that principal, towards that loan, and which gives me some equity into my house, and so you can count that as a total net monthly amount of $755. That's pretty much the total amount after bills I'm paying to live in my house while I'm house hacking. Where before over here you get no such benefits. You don't get the tenant typically, and you don't get the payoff. So you have $1,185 versus the $755. Well, if you are counting that together, so that is a minimum profit of $430, and this is a lot higher. I always take extra bills into consideration. These are probably 10% higher than I've ever seen, except for the mortgage. That mortgage and PMI, those are exact numbers, but the bills, they're not that high, and my cost of repair isn't that high, and my taxes are 2% higher than what they should be, and I just do that out of precaution so I don't get behind on anything. So really, I'm looking more at like $500 to $550 per month. Well, let's look at the pros and cons of owning the house. Like I said before, it took me $8,000. So $8,000 invested in a good, let's say a good mutual fund, getting 10% for the next 2 years. Well, for this to be kind of worth it, I need to make up that $9,680, which is what I calculated that to be. Well, let's just do that. So that 2 years, that's 24 months of me saving $430 total. Well, that's $10,320. Well, that's pretty good. That's right here. That's a net positive over 2 years of a minimum of 640. And of course, I do take a little bit extra liability with, like, say, if the roof floods. But if I'm buying a house, either way, I am expecting those risks because as of right now, the people live below me and I'm upstairs, so I really don't have much to fix because I've got my inspections, and those inspectors come with warranties. And so if anything were to happen to the place, I can contact them and say, hey, look, man, you told me this was good. It's not good. And they'll fix that. So you got to count in the, so like I said, with this monthly income for the 525, that comes with repairs and taxes and whatnot. I overpriced everything for my house. Payoff grows each month, so I think it's like something like 13 cents per month more each month, and then it increases like as a penny more every 4 to 5 months. So it adds up quickly over time, and by the 10-year mark, I'm paying absolutely zero with the cost of rent going up and my payoff amount growing and natural inflation. And not even talking about the equity in the house. I don't know what the house is going to be worth in 10 years, but more than likely it's going to be more than when I bought it. So it seems like over time this is a great play. And the bonus aspect of this is you're not renting. So normally you don't have people around you if you're living in an apartment complex. If you're renting out a house, you're not paying someone else's mortgage. It's your property. You can do what you want. You want to put a spare bedroom in. You want to put up a different feature. You want a different sink. Do everything you want to do because it's your house. And like I said, this 640 is on the low side. I would estimate this to be closer to the $2,000 to $3,000 mark, and probably a 16 to 18 month break even point. But I'll let this give it a benefit of the doubt and just say 2 years. 2 years what it takes to break even with the house hacking. In my specific case, in other cases, I've heard of it like breaking completely even day one. I've seen crazy things where people are making money from the first year. It's really dependent on your financial situation. Well, that's all I have to say about this subject. If you have any questions, please comment them down below, or you can send me an email. Or if you like the video, go ahead and push the like button and share it to a friend if this is kind of something you can get in with a friend with. Alright guys, I'll see you later.